Hello guys, today we're gonna learn you how to use Streamlabs Chatbot, because a lot of people were asking me about this, and I just want to make a video so you guys can figure out yourself for a bit. If you have questions, you can always contact me, I can help you further, if I have the time. I blocked the background with an image of mine, so you guys don't see my cluttered desktop. This is the program where we're talking about. Okay, first thing you want to do is go to streamlabs.com and click on login. You will see this, you see yourself being logged in here. You probably have to authorize it, but because I already have it, I don't have to. Just log in with your streamer account. Then you scroll a bit down. On the left side, you see Chatbot. Oh, sitting in front of it. Chatbot. Right here. There's some things telling you what it can do here. Important things to do is there's a button here, download now. You have to click that and download the program. If you have more questions, there's always like a Twitch documentation, YouTube documentation, and Mixer. They're almost the same except for that they say how to use it on those platforms. They have a Python as well. If you have done that, you should have this program. It should look like this. If everything ran alright. Okay? And what you want to do is click on this icon, connections. And then you have streamer account here. You type in your account of your Twitch and then generate a token. You should get a pop-up with authorization. You just authorize that login with your streamer account and then click on generate token here and then connect. Your streamer account is now connected. Next thing you want to do is go to Twitch, make a new account for your bot. I recommend calling it your name and at the end bot. I did it with Trui bot. Same, my username is Trui and I just put bot behind it. I made an account for that. Make sure you want the capitalization and stuff like that done in the bot itself on Twitch. And you want to log in with your Twitch bot on this page here. So click on Twitch bot and log in here. And same, click on generate token again, connection type regular, that's okay. And then after that you click on connect. You can also do this with a Discord bot, that's a bit more, well, it can only tweet, it can only post when you go live in Discord. So that's whatever you want. If you have it on Discord, you can do it here as well. Game Wisp, if you're new, you probably don't have that. I recommend don't getting it if you're small. You can get it later on. This is just like, you can set this in the Streamlabs site. I wouldn't do it through here. What you have now is you have a connected page. It should say that it's connected. It should say like successfully connected like it does here. And it says who the moderators are. There's like this little bar here you can type in. It will actually type for you in chat. If it's on streamer, it will use your streamer account, for me Trui, to type something in your chat if you post it. You can even use the emotes here. If you set it on bot, it will use your bot account to tweet. So you can make some funny things. You can say beep boop or something. That's what I do sometimes. With your bot account, if you don't want to stream, type it yourself. You can always go to your Twitch side and type it there, but it's just another way of doing it, right? And with the bot, it's way handier to do it like this. Otherwise, you have to log in and out, and well, that's just not handy. This is the dashboard. What you can do here is you can change your title. You can see I streamed some Planet Coaster last time. You can change your stream title and your game. It doesn't work all time, so I recommend checking it by refreshing the page or doing it through the Twitch dashboard, because that's the safer option, right? You see a list of subscribers here, not to if you're small, you don't have a lot of yet, yeah, but you can always look them back, right, like here. This tab is an important one, commands. What you can do is you can make some commands like I have here. Battle.net, the chainsaw is a sound effect. Giveaway, claim giveaway. I have like a lot of commands. You can actually add them by pressing this plus button, type a command here. I recommend always typing something starting with an exclamation mark. Because if you start with an exclamation mark, people have to type it in the chat as well. If you do exclamation mark but, then people have to type exclamation mark but for the command to trigger. Otherwise, if they type but, the command triggers already. You don't want that. So you can say something like uptime. How many points it costs. We gonna look into the point system in a second, but I would recommend getting normal commands on 0. You want it in your stream chat. Group, you can set it on only playing it at a game. If you want it only on Fortnite, you make this type game, and then this thingy again, and then you type Fortnite. Then the command only works on Fortnite. If you don't type anything, it works on every game. Okay. Permission. So uptime, everybody get a permission to type uptime. Okay. Because why would you type something else, right? Why would you just want that from us? But something like banning or something, you want to be for only mods, right? And maybe some other commands you want to be for only mods. Or just only subscribers, game wisps, only regulars, point minimum amount of hours, only you, only editors. Well, you can have a lot of those. What I recommend with the commands is getting a uptime command and a followage command. I have an uptime command here, which is actually Trui has been streaming for $uptime. What this means is that it's actually gonna look for the uptime. It's a sort of code. It's not really code, but it's a sort of code that actually searches for the uptime. So it's actually gonna say how much time you have been streaming for. That's what you want. That's what you want people to know. I recommend making that command exclamation mark uptime, because that's in most channels that way. Same with followage. Followage is a popular command as well, so people know those commands, right? People who are familiar with Twitch know those commands. This one is a more tricky one. I recommend only changing the things I have here. You can just copy paste this for me, basically, if you want. This is all code. This is user ID. So if I type it, it will say Trui. If John types it, it will say John. You know. You have been following, and that's me, because they type it in my channel. So that's always Trui. And this actually is the code to search for how long you've been following somebody for. So you want to make sure you have this piece in your response here, because that's the actually answer. It's a bit hard. You have to. Well, you know what? This piece of code I will just set in the descriptions below. Because well, then you guys have it easy, right? So you just have to copy paste that. You can make a lot of more commands, just whatever you want, because well, I have like giveaways, and I have like a list of games I do for giveaways, so I made that command for it. I've got I'm partnered with Humble Bundle, so I have like a link to my Humble Bundle. I have a link to my Instagram, obviously to my YouTube. I use loot, so I have a link for that command for that as well, so they can actually use that. There are just a lot of commands here. I even have a lurk command, which is actually saying, have a nice lurk. Then we have timers. What does timers do? Timers are actually things the bot says on a certain amount of time. So I've got my Discord here. We have a Discord server, feel free to join, and then the link to the Discord server. I want the bot to say that every now and then. But you can definitely say everything you want. I have some game specific ones for Overwatch. Go get them. Trui is that the head domain. You can just do whatever you want with those, but well, most people use it for information. You can add them with clicking on the plus, exactly the same. Name of the thing doesn't really matter, but it's just for you to know what it is. Response does matter, because that's actually what it's gonna say. Group, you can actually do those things for game. If you do it like this, it will only run on Overwatch. But well, that's handy for some things, but most things you just want this box empty, because then it's always doing it if you're live. There's a cogwheel here, which is actually for settings. This thing might be really important for you. This is how many minutes it will take for the bot to actually say something. It will just pick one out of the list. It will not pick them all at the same time. It will just go for Discord first, then the avatars, then gear, yeah, avatars is off, but then guide, then sound effects, you know? It will do it like that. But there's a second option here. Minimum chat lines. It will only do it if the minimum lines set in the chat are 2. So that means if nobody said anything, the bot will not say anything as well. You can make this as high as you want, well, up to 100. And then you have the command interval as well. You can set it up to 60 minutes. You have to play a little bit with it, how you want it, how much you want the bot to spam, when it's annoying, when it's good. That's just personal, whatever you want. We've got quotes. Well, just like a quote. Yeah, you can make a quote in there, and it will remember those quotes, and you can ask for the quotes if you want with exclamation mark quotes. Extra quotes, I've never used that. Giveaway, that's obviously for running giveaways. Tickets costs, and maximum tickets. You have costs for, the costs are the amount of points, which we're actually gonna go into in a second. The amount of points it costs to enter the giveaway, and the maximum tickets are how many times you can enter the giveaway in one giveaway. So how many tickets you can buy, maximum. The command is exclamation mark rifle, but you can make it exclamation mark whatever you want, giveaway or something. If you do that, people have to do exclamation mark raffle space and then the amount of tickets they want to buy. If they want 1 for 3, I've got sweaters, my points. For 3 points, they do raffle space 1, but they can also buy 20. Raffle space 20. You can fill in what the price is here. My prices aren't determined because people can pick out of a list of games. But if you give away Overwatch, you say Overwatch in here. This is the permission to join, so you can actually make an only subscriber giveaway, or only regulars, or game wisps, or people that have watched a certain amount of time. So you open the giveaway here, people will enter here, you will see their names here. You can pick a winner and then reset it. You've got song request, which is kinda, well, works on YouTube. I wouldn't recommend using those right now, cause, well, because of copyright, you know? Yes, so I would recommend to leave that be. If you really want to, you can look into it from the guide on the website here. There it is. But I don't recommend that. Sound effects are actually pretty funny. You can have like some shots or some screams, or like most people do it with scary streams. So you actually like you have to put them on, obviously, because mine is off. Because I only do it with scary screams. And you can enter them here. You can enter the files here for the effects. So you have to have the files on your computer, and then you can get the files in here. You have to couple them to a command, otherwise they don't work. So you have to make a command of it. And if you have done it, you see it like this. You see that the laugh, that's like an evil laugh. Oh, okay, yeah, you guys know. Is coupled to it. So if you do exclamation mark laugh, you will hear that sound. If this is on, and if the sound effects are on, and the sound effects is actually in here. Okay, next thing is queue. What a queue does is you can allow people to join your game. I just made a game queue, but you can do like Fortnite or Overwatch, and then if people type exclamation mark join, they will appear in here, and they will be in an order that they join. So if you're like, well, the first person we did that can join me now, and then I do a match with them, and then the second one can join. You can do it like that. You can always set this on subscribers only if you only want to play with subscribers. You can also say that they have to pay points to actually get in your game. And there's a maximum size if you want. That if there are 20 people in there, that's like, well, I don't want more people, so I only play with people if they're last in the queue right now, because we can't make it. We can't play with all. You know, you can do that. This is the death counter, which actually, well, you can use it with certain games if you die a lot. I wouldn't recommend it if you die every second, because somebody has to manually do a command for it to let it go up. So probably your mods would get it up then for you. The cool thing to do with like Dark Souls or something, or like Cuphead. That might be games that it's funny with, but then you have to have an active mod that actually does add the death the whole time, which might be a bit annoying for them. I found it pretty annoying for them. Then you have the currency, which is actually the points I was talking about the whole time. You can see all those people have points in my channel. They were called sweaters. What you can do is, this is where you add people. That's not the right thing. There's a cogwheel on the right here. You can change this automatically is an exclamation mark points. You can change this to be something else. Because I'm Trui, and Trui is the Dutch word for sweater, I actually made it sweaters. And the name, I recommend being the name and the command the same. At least if the name is not super long. If the name is super long, I would like shorten it and make that as the command. This response, keep it that way. At least it just looks good. It's okay like this. You really don't wanna. I mean, you can, but just you see all those everything with the dollar sign is actually code. So the only thing here that isn't code is this dash and the hours with the dash. You know. So you can make a story out of it, but I would keep it as short as possible so people just get the information straight. Assign the ranks based on, oh yeah, there's a rank system as well for hours or points. I would recommend that on hours because people can spend points and they can't spend hours. So they always have an X amount of hours at least, you know? Automatically become a regular, that's just something you can get extra payout for if you want to do that to people. You can set it on hours or points. Again, I recommend hours because points can be spent. I don't recommend getting offline on because otherwise people just gonna lurk in your offline channel the whole time. And you don't want them to be there if you're not online. Yes, this is the game wisp. I don't have a game wisp, so this is all grayed out for me. This is the interval. Yeah, offline is off, so this one is in 10, but it's not actually on right now. The online interval of payout is 10, so every 10 minutes they get sweaters in my channel. You can set it to 5 or 60 if you want. I recommend keeping that low, because people want to get something, you know. You can better have this low and then the payout low as well than that you have this on 60 and give them 500 points. You can actually say how many points you get every 10 minutes. Like, it's on 10, so I just make that as an example right now. Live payout is 1 here, so people get 1 sweater every 10 minutes with me, and 0 when offline. I've got regulars because there are people who watch more than 25 hours. You can set this on whatever you want. Those people get an extra sweater, so they get 2. They get 2 at 10 minutes. And I also got the sub bonus on 1. So they get, if they're subs and a regular, they get 3 sweaters at 10 minutes. You can always give extra sweaters for game wisp subscribers, moderators, or people that are actively in chat. That have wrote something in the past 10 minutes, I believe. Also, you can give them extra payout if they rate you, if they follow you, if they sub you, if they give you a sub on Game Wisp, or if they host you. You can set this on whatever you want. You can make it higher numbers than this. You can make it thousands instead of just 5. But just whatever you want your currency to be worth it. Same with donations and extra life donations. It's really standard. The ranks, that's this crown here. I've got, like, my ranks are just called 0 to 10, but you can make it like soldier, captain, or I don't know, dough, pie, cake, I don't know, whatever you want. You can add them by clicking on the plus, name them here, soldier. Requirements is 5 hours, and everybody can get it. So now, if you watched 5 hours, your rank is soldier. If you make another one, captain, and you make this 10, people will only be captain if they hit the 10. So, yeah. So you see, at mine, you are automatically level 1 if you have 0 hours. You get rank 2 if you have 1. You get 3 if you get 3 hours, but it goes up. I recommend if you get higher, you will make this way higher as well. So for rank 10, you need 1000 hours, which nobody really has yet, because I haven't streamed for 1000 hours yet. I did more than 500 though, so technically people can be 9. I don't know if anybody's 9 yet, but okay, you have users here, which is actually just a list of people that says if they're editors or regulars or something like that. I never used this. Minigames are pretty funny. They're just games, ways to spend your currency in their chat. Yeah, let's start with Heist. Heist is basically people can join and they're gonna rob a bank, and if that's successful, they get an X amount of points back, and they get some extra points. If they lose all their points. This is a cooldown in minutes, minimal entries, that's how many points people actually need to spend to get in there. Maximum amount, how many they can maximum spend. Start delay, that's how long people have to join after the first one joins. Who can join, and then you have like more settings. If you click on the cogwheel, you can actually say how much chance they have of winning. So normal viewers have 40% here, regulars have 50%, and subscribers have 60%. So probably win if you're a subscriber, but you probably would lose if you're just a viewer. You can make this whatever you want, and this is the percentage of payout they get. So if you have 100, if you spend 100 points, if you're a viewer, you get 120 back. If you're a regular, you get 125 back, and if you're a subscriber, you get 130 back. That's how it works. You can also change the messages here, because my stream is about sweaters. Instead of robbing a bank, we're robbing elderly from their fresh knitting sweaters, which actually sounds a bit cruel now I think of it. But so you can change this all. First entry on cooldown. This is like all messages that bot will say. Keep in mind that you don't delete this kind of information out of the sentence, because that is code that you want to show. So you actually want that in there somewhere. Yes, we have duo as well. 2 people can duel each other. This works exactly the same. Same with the messages. Free for all is battle royale basically. So like Fortnite, but then in the minigame. Works the same with this. Same with the messages as well. And boss battle, then people are gonna work together to defeat the boss. Same thing. You also got polls here. What do polls do? You can vote on and then make a sentence. Vote on pineapple on pizza. Is that a thing? Pineapple pizza. And then you can make an option yes, add, and no, add. And then you can start the voting. People can do exclamation mark vote and then 0 for yes, or exclamation mark vote and then 1 for no, and then you can see which one actually wins. And if you don't stop it, I will just do it for a sec. If you stop it, you will get a message in the chat that actually says which one has won. Don't forget to reset those things after. Yes. Don't forget to reset those. I don't know why it's not want to reset now. But you can also do it like this. And then just delete this. Will work the same. Then you have betting. Am I gonna win? Yes or no. Something like that you can do with it. It works kind of the same as polls. You can say like how much percentage people get paid out, what the minimum is, and what the maximum is. Events. I recommend not using them. Mod tool. What can you do with it? Caps protection is when people type a lot in caps lock. Wouldn't recommend that. If people are hyped to do that and you don't want to punish people for being hyped. Symbol protection, that's when people spam emotes or something like that. You don't want that on. I would leave that be. Link protection you want on though. You don't want people coming in and just spam links of sites you don't want to visit. And word protection, you can set that on, but really bad words will always go through the auto mod on Twitch anyway. So you can decide to do this, but you don't have to. I don't personally do it. I think my mods can decide if something is good or bad. If somebody says food porn, they're not actually talking about that. You know, they're talking about food and there should not be pornish, but the bot will because it doesn't no context, you know. So how does this work? You can permit people to bypass this rule by setting this on something like subscribers. Now for me, subscribers can post links without them being banned or timed out. This is the punishment. You can instantly ban people, which is pretty harsh. Time out them or purge them. This is the duration of the permit. If somebody asks you, hey, can I post a link? And you're like, yes. Exclamation mark permit and then the name of the person. And they can then post a link for X amount of seconds, which for me is on 185 seconds. This is the link for if they didn't post a link without your permission. There's a little, I don't know, whitelist here. Those are actually links that are allowed in my channel. Diva is a thing people say a lot in my channel because sometimes I play Overwatch. But the bot thinks this is a link because of the dot in it. What you do is just type Diva and edit. So now when people type Diva, they would not get banned. I would recommend doing that with stuff like this. With clips, I would do that with that as well. And your own pages. You don't want people to get banned for sharing your YouTube or sharing your Twitch. You don't want that, right? You don't want that. So you want that on the whitelist. Notifications. This is if you use Streamlabs, you don't really need this. This is just like notification in chat if somebody follows you and stuff. I just use the overlay of Streamlabs, which is actually pretty great. And this is for the Discord bot, what he says if you're going online. Pretty okay. Pretty okay. I hope you guys now understand how it works. If you don't, there's Twitch documentation on the streamlabs.com. And you can also leave a comment underneath here. And I will react on that. Also, please give me a subscription on the YouTube and tick the little bell icon so you get notified of my content. Because you might be interested in that. Hint, hint, hint. Also, there's my other socials in the description below. I hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up then. Thank you very much for watching and see you next time.